guys, welcome back. So I'm super excited because I got a lot of feedback for my first video, which makes me super happy because a lot of you guys said continue making videos, and they wanted to hear my experiences, so that makes me so happy. And I also got a list of questions here from somebody who was so curious, and she's thinking about switching to dental hygiene school, and I know there's somebody else who's considering dental hygiene school, so these questions might benefit you as well. I just want to start by saying that my experience is going to be completely different probably from everybody else's. Just in general, everything's going to vary, I'm sure, but this is just my experience. So first question that she asked was, what is my normal week like? So you're going to want to book out Monday through Friday, and you're going to want to book out 8 a.m. to probably 5 p.m. every day. That's just classes, and after those classes you're going to want to book out time for studying. If you're very savvy and you can study in between classes, that's great, and you probably won't have to stay up late. I stay up probably until 1 a.m. every day studying. I just like to get on top of the game. I like to study for the class the next day. I like to read. And in general, your workload is going to be pretty heavy, that you're going to have to spend a lot of time the night before on the class for the next day, because you're not going to have too much time to focus on everything before, like prior. Like in general, you're not going to have time to study for a test that's on Friday on Monday. Like, you're just going to have to really break it down if that's how you're going to work. Which leads me to my next question. She asked, would I still be able to work? They told us on the first day of orientation, they said, if you're working a job right now, we recommend that you quit. And we all looked at each other, and there's a lot of girls in my program who have kids and have full-time jobs and work, and you can't just up and quit your job, you know, in the middle of life. So there's a lot of girls in my program who have kids and who have lives, and they do a really, really awesome job. I know most of them manage to not work so much. I know there's a couple that don't really work at all right now. I work Friday and Sundays on the weekends, and that leaves me Saturday to catch up any projects or homework. It also gives you a day of like social life. So if you can work only a couple days a week, or a day that you don't have class, that would probably be your best bet, but you really want a day off just to yourself, or you probably will lose your sanity. She said, do you need all the dental supplies? Yes, you will need everything on that list. This was a huge issue for a lot of people. Not a lot of people, but a couple people, because it's extremely expensive. My first year of school, I spent probably $3,000 on instruments, probably like $2,000 on books, and like supplies like overgowns, gloves, glasses, air syringe tips, ultrasonic tips, masks, just like everything in general. Like, you need, at least for our program, you had to buy all your supplies. So if you run out of gloves, you're pretty screwed. So yes, I think it is important. For book-wise, I would recommend that you honestly buy them used. I buy most of my books used off Amazon. As it goes for instruments, I don't think anybody should ever buy used instruments. I know there's a couple of people that have bought used instruments and they turned out okay, but you're gonna probably pay like $800 for used instruments, and they told us that our Q3D instruments will probably be pretty much shot at the end of this 2 years. So to buy something for $800 when you could spend the extra $1,000 to get them brand new and know that they're strong and they're not weak and they're gonna have the full life span for your entire school year, is probably the better bet on that one. For silly stuff like my Typodont, people were like, why do I need to buy this? We use this a lot. We use this a lot. Like we placed amalgams in there. I don't know if you can see. We did a lot of testing in our first semester. We did like polishing and flossing, just silly stuff like Gracie's on our typodont. So yes, you pretty much do need everything. And I know it's a lot of money, so if you're watching this video and you're thinking about joining dental hygiene school, I would recommend working as much as you can up until that point and really saving as much as you can, because the cost of it is just as challenging as everything else. What did I expect versus how it is? I did not expect it to be as loaded as much as it is. There's a lot going on. I didn't think finding patients would be as stressful as it truly is. We have a list of requirements that you need per semester, and you honestly don't know what you have in someone's mouth until they're in your chair. So you need like a person with calculus, like sub or supra 9 areas. So for like a C3, that's what we consider it. Or we need like somebody who has at least 4+ millimeter pocket, which isn't too hard, but when you're sitting there and you're trying to find patients, it gets pretty challenging. And like working with kids, trying to find kids and adolescents is hard because you have 3-hour clinics in general, and then so you have a 3-hour clinic. Sorry, I'm stuttering. You have a 3-hour clinic and you're trying to sit a little 6-year-old kid in your chair for 3 hours. Isn't always the greatest experience for anybody, but it's a requirement, so it needs to get done, and it's something that I was not expecting to be that hard, other than it being just a lot more challenging than I ever really expected it to be. What did I wish someone had told me? I'm gonna say that to the end. I'm gonna think about that one. Does it consume all your energy like everybody says? Yes, it does, and that's point blank for that question. It takes a lot of energy. You're waking up early hours to make sure you're getting it in clinic, and you have everything set up. If you have like an 8 a.m. appointment, I'm in there by like at least 7 o'clock. I'm getting changed, and then I'm going in the clinic and setting up, and then you don't get out of there some nights until later, and it's just, by the time you get home, you're like, oh my god, I have like 3 tests tomorrow, I have to study, I have to write this essay. It truly does consume a lot of your energy, but it's totally worth it. And like I said, if you leave yourself one day a week that you can look forward to, that you just focus on yourself, that really helps a lot. And like I said in the previous video, it's only 2 years and 4 months at a time. You got this. The next question is, do you plan on just doing dental hygiene, or would you like to do more? At this point in the game, I would like to go on to get my bachelor's. I first have to graduate with my associates, but I would like to go on and get my bachelor's, and I kind of would like to do something in like kind of like advertising for a company. I absolutely love the reps that come in, and they're so good, and I love all their products, but I definitely would want to stick with hygiene. I truly love dental hygiene. And I love patients. What was my most difficult class so far? Probably oral anatomy. I had also mentioned that in my first video. Oral anatomy is a class on, it's like a program on its own. I spent a lot of time in oral anatomy trying to learn everything, and it's extremely demanding, and you have a lab attached to that, so every week you have like a quiz or a test in each of those classes, so you already have 2 tests a week for both of those. It's just, you have to know that stuff, and there's no easy way around oral anatomy, I don't think so. I really found a way that studied best for me, and that really helped me get through that one. And my semester now, my hardest probably would be radiography. It's just different. If you've never worked with x-rays before, and it's like your first time, and you're sitting there trying to figure out bite wings on a patient, so you learn bite wings once on a Dexter, and then next day you're in clinic with a patient trying to learn bite wings, and it's a lot. But it's also fun, and my professor is great at teaching it, so that's probably my most difficult class. My social life. um, Social life. That's why I said like, it's really important to make friends at school so you have a social life. That's probably about the only time you're going to socialize is during the day at school. Or like I said, that day off. Does it affect your relationships? My relationships with my family, not really. I make time that I know I'm going to spend with my family. With my friends, they're away at school as well, so I don't see them much anyway, and my boyfriend is away as well, so it doesn't really affect my social life too much. But if you are a very people person and you like to go out and do stuff every night with your friends, you probably will have a hard time with your social life. Do you need prior experience? So I never had prior experience. I never had anything in health. I just totally went in blank. I do go to school with a lot of girls who were dental assistants for a while. They obviously have a higher advantage. But I feel like for the most part, we're all on the same level. Whether you want to be an assistant before you become a dental hygienist is up to you. I would love to be an assistant at this point. I love in clinic when they're like, oh, you guys get to be assistants. I just get to sit there and hold the section. Not that saying that that's all assistants do, but I would love to be an assistant, just in general. They get to do all the fun stuff. Why did I choose dental hygiene? So I knew I wanted to be in the health field and that I wanted to help people, and that was like, I loved biology, and I knew I wanted to be in a health setting, but I didn't really like x-rays. That didn't really thrill me because it would be, to me that was like boring, like you're doing the same thing every day. Like, I didn't want to be a nurse. I don't like blood. I don't really like blood and guts and trauma and like action. I don't like fast-paced stuff. So I kind of stuck with dental hygiene, and I truly love it. Like, I'm obsessed with dental hygiene. Ask my friends, they call me a nerd all the time. That's why I chose it. I absolutely love working with the patients and just meeting new people, and it's never the same. Like, you never are going to have this same day. You're always going to have different patients and different mouths, and it's just, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. So that's all the questions she had. If you're considering switching to dental hygiene, really think about, like, go on YouTube and watch videos on anything dental hygiene, because there's a lot of great instruction videos out there, like instrumentation and like silly stuff like that. Because I had never been in a person's mouth like that until I finally got into dental hygiene school, and there was a few people that were like, this is not for me. Like, so don't like want somebody to work so hard to get there and then realize that they don't like them, like doesn't like dental hygiene school. I mean, you're up in somebody's mouth and they're bleeding and the sounds aren't always the best. So just go on YouTube, and I think it's called Hygiene Edge. I can post the link in my bio for this video, and you guys can go check them out if you're considering it. Most of all the instrumentations that I learned are on that site. They do great videos. People talk. There's a lot of talk videos. That's a really, really great channel to check out if you're interested. If anybody else has any questions, please comment them below. I would love to make another video. I just don't know what questions people honestly want to ask, so that's why I kind of just go off the ones that she gave me, which makes me super happy, because I didn't know like what questions. So yeah, if anybody, I like my Got Floss shirt. If anybody else has any questions, please comment them below. And if you are watching this and you're considering dental hygiene school, or you're in dental hygiene school, or you're a dental hygienist, please like it so I know that you're here, okay? Thank you.